That was me and my talent show at the high school. I was so nervous, but Mum and Dad got me a flower.
That's all of us congratulating Jen.
That was our friends from Australia, Patrick and Pia. We had so much fun. They came and we stayed up till 2 o'clock. That was Dad in Vancouver.
That's my mum, my nana, Paula, Regina, and Kate, our neighbours.
That was me, Nana, and Mum. Look at my smile.
They're out to dinner. That's Jen, Jake, and I, and we're all at a Christmas decoration street where you must decorate.
It was so much fun, but you had to walk a really long way.
There were people selling hot chocolate and people singing carols.
It was worth it though. Look at the polar bears, my favorite animal.
Everyone had great decorations. There were tons of people there looking at them. And when you're there live, it's amazing.
We only ever just put little sparkly things on our front lawn.
These people look like they've spent weeks doing it all.
That's me in the middle, Jake on the front, and April in the back. That was me at a recital at my piano teacher's house. It was really fun. That's all of us. The parents took a photo of us all. That's my teacher.
That's our neighbours and my parents.
And they were having eggnog for Christmas.
My parents made eggnog and then invited the whole neighbourhood over. It was so fun, for them at least.
That was one of the neighbours. I never found out who it was.
They were dressed up as Santa.
That was our house. It was so cool. That little shiny thing, that's a deer, but it's kind of hard to make out. That was the backyard. Dad even strings lights on the trees. That's not even part of it.
That's all our presents we got in 2008. There's a lot, but
Hope
they were
we get
all
more.
great.
We should get more this year.
That's me with the dog that Jake bought me for Christmas.
And that's me with the littlest pet shop that Jake bought me for Christmas. Hey, check out my hat. I still have that. I'll wear it this year.
That's Jake. He just found an awesome present. It's his Indiana Jones Lego game for his DS. Look, he's already trying to play it. He can't figure it out yet. And he hasn't even finished opening all his presents.
That was us outside our school on the big grass area, and we were playing boomerang.
With the boomerang.
Action shot.
Phew.
Hope it doesn't hit already.
That's me, just about to throw it. I'm trying to focus on the strength I use.
That was us on the seesaw. We were too little to sit on it, so we jumped off it instead.
Jake was really into that.
That was us sitting on the seesaw with Dad. If someone heavy sat on the other side, we got flying.
That was Mum and Dad on their motorcycle trip.
We weren't there.
That's Mum just checking on us, making sure we're okay.
We always are, aren't we? That was them riding. I bet that they had so much fun. There's Mum. She's behind him, so she's having a bit of time looking at the camera.
Whee! That's us and our neighbour Logan roasting marshmallows in our own fireplace with forks.
Jake's not very good at it. But they taste good though.
Most of the marshmallows went on fire. We were out of breath after blowing it out.
That was
when we went on a plane with Nana to Florida, the pilot actually had us in the front to look at all the controls. Jake thought it was awesome.
That was in Florida. Instead of sand in front of the house, there was shells and rocks.
We found shark teeth.
The pool was so cold, but we jumped in anyway. That was us right by the backyard. It led right to the ocean, and Jake almost fell in.
That's us in the backyard. Again.
Starfish stuck to the little wooden poles. They were so cool to look at. Once, I swear I saw a stingray. April forgot how to swim.
That's us again in the backyard in Florida.
We spent a lot of time out there because it was so beautiful. That was us at the beach. It was so much fun. Wish we could do that every single day. That was us. We flattened out the sand on a big rock and we put a lot more on to make it softer. Then we laid down on it.
At the beach, we're at the beach there with our cousin, uncle, and aunt, and Nana. We saw dolphins. There's Dad. He went with Jonathan to the shooting arena.
He shot a weird guy. We could feed the flamingos at the zoo. It was so much fun. But one of them had a sharp beak. That's me with a green parrot. It was so cool, but I think I was a little bit confused.
That's me holding a live baby alligator.
Its mouth was taped shut.
Phew.
That was the horizon. It was so beautiful at nighttime or at dusk.
That's at the monster trucks where Dad works. It was so cool. It was noisy, but it had a lot of action. I think Jake enjoyed it.
Jake's reconciliation, and we had so much fun. We were congratulating Jake after he got his certificate.
Pose. Jake's proud of himself. I think he's glad it's over too.
That was us before Jake went in. Dad took a photo of us. It was such a fun day. That was Dad on his motorbike trip.
Yeah, that was down just about 50 miles from home.
Ha, nice hat.
Thanks. Oh, there's Jake getting his, brown belt?
I think so.
Yeah.
Brown second belt.
Still have all these medals.
And here comes the drama class that you and Jake did together.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, you can watch a couple of the little plays here.
Dad, are you going or are you not going to this theater?
Just a minute.
Just a minute? You've been saying that for the last hour. I'm not going at all. We go in when the show is half over.
We won't be cross there. We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes? That's a lot of time to get through all that traffic, isn't it? And then we have to find a parking place too. Now hurry up. Why are you women so slow?
They may be slow there, but they're innocent.
Another catfish! He knows some speed! Slow than fishes! Outside!
I'm already. Just a minute. I forgot my letter.
Hurry up! The speed of some women makes a snail look like a racehorse.
As I said before, the innocent makes it up for. Now I'm ready. I know. I'm ready. Turn off the light. George, and come on.
Now, when I'm good enough to get tickets for the one show down there you've been so crazy to see, and then you go show your appreciation by wanting to get it when the show's half over. We're like right now. Like for no other reason, whether except your foolish slowness.
All right, come on. Do you have the tickets?
Of course I have tickets.
What's the matter, Jimmy?
I forgot! The tickets are on my desk at the office. I would like to look at some stamps, please. What denomination do you want? Denomination? Yes. Is it for a letter or a newspaper?
Oh, I want to send a letter to my Uncle John. He just moved to,
Then you need a 20-cent stamp. Here it is.
I hardly like that car.
That is a 10-cent stamp, ma'am. Please stand aside, ma'am, unless that gentleman behind you comes.
But haven't you got them in any other colors? I never liked the shade of red very well.
There's only one color.
Strange. I should think that you keep them in different shades, so there'll be some choice. It doesn't matter my stationery at all. You're certain you don't have a brighter red or a narrow green or a sea blue or a jubilee blue, for instance?
You can put 2 10-cent stamps on your letter if you like.
Let me see them, please. Ah, that was blue. I like that shade so much better. I'll take just one, if you please.
If it's for a letter, you will need 2. These are 10-cent stamps, and one letter requires 20 cents per ounce.
Oh, I don't want to put 2 stamps on my letter. I don't think that will look good.
It requires 20 cents to carry a letter, madame, and you must either put a 20-cent stamp on or 2 10s. It won't go without. I must ask you to please hurry, or you are keeping a great many people away from the window.
I just don't like the look of the 2 together. You sure that the other doesn't come in steel brown or...
No, madame, no!
Then I'll just have to see if I can find someone else. Good day.
This is on the way up to Vegas, one of my trips to Vegas for work. I went up in the car instead of flying so that I could see Hoover Dam on the way back. That's from the balcony of the Palms Hotel, one of the bars they have upstairs. A fantastic view back to the Strip. That's the Red Rock National Park, which is just outside of Vegas. I just drove through it. The scenic views there just look so ancient to me. That looks like out of a dinosaur movie or something, I think. There's my car. It's a 98 Pontiac Grand Prix, supercharged. Cost me about $3,000. And that's the Hoover Dam. That's the park in behind our house. You see all the kids playing there. You can actually see Jake jumping out of the tree in mid-air. That just happened to be one of the days when all the kids in the neighbourhood were running around and Jake had his Indiana Jones hat on and a whip.
Looked a bit like a party.
Yeah. Excuse me. This is another bike ride with me up to... where did we go this trip? We were supposed to go to Death Valley, but it was raining and snowing actually on the entrance to Death Valley, so we diverted another way around to the coast. Did some nice inland roads. That's Jesus, my friend that we ride with. He kind of plans the trips, and we ended up on some really nice country roads. You know, you can see the hills, rolling hills there. We took a wrong turn somewhere and ended up on a dirt road where the pavement ended, so we had to turn around and go back.
That's our little neighbor Sydney. We like to have bike races, but sometimes we let them win so that they don't get upset.
That's us again, racing around the corner, trying not to crash. That's Sahar and me, almost crashing.
Look at Jake. He loves to crash his bike for fun. Does he ever think he's going to hurt himself?
There's Jen getting her Eagle Imperial Award at school.
That was Mum and her friend and Catherine. They were at I was here.
They were at school. That's us on the way to Lake Tahoe. It was kind of cold.
Just a little bit. We all sat on this little wall in the middle of nowhere and we got a photo taken. Behind us was snow.
We're all close. That's us at the Sierra Mountains.
Well,
no, actually the place is called Sierra. It's a ski place. We were skiing. Duh.
That was us when we were skiing. I bet we just gotten down the mountain and Dad stopped to take a photo of us.
On my way.
That'd be funny if he fell down while I was taking a photo.
Whee! Zooming down the hill. Sort of. Not too fast.
That was me making a jump. It was kind of scary, but I got it right. I didn't fall at all.
I did some big jumps over there.
That was me. Like my pose.
Action pose. Bling. That's Jake. Action pose. Bling.
One of his first time using poles. I think he loved it, but he had to stop using them.
He was busting for poles. Whee! Around the corner.
This is the half pipe at Sierra Tahoe, and in the afternoon when all the snowboarders and crazy skiers have gone home, we'd go and do a few runs down it. It was really good fun. And you know, it's really intimidating. The kids had a great time on it, and Deborah and I both had to go as well. And when you've gone up the side, it feels like you're going a lot higher than it looks on the camera here anyway. Everybody had a lot of fun.
You hear him? I didn't have the camera quite ready. Okay, up you go.
I'm gonna feel how high.
Woohoo! There's me. I loved this. I kept on asking, can we go on again, please?
Of course, it wouldn't be a holiday for us without some sort of incident, and this time it was Jake that provided the fun. He went over a big ski jump a bit faster than he should have, got about 10 or 12 feet of air, flew a whole bunch of feet in the air, landed hard on his back, and the ski patrol wanted to take him down the hill on the sled, put him in an ambulance, take him to hospital to get him looked at properly to make sure there was no damage to his back or ribs or anything like that. He was fine, just a bit shocked, and we had to take a day off, so we just took a day walking around the edge of the lake. We took this nice photo by the lake. And you can even see just by Jake showing his attitude there and so on that he was fine. And there's a photo of us at the end of the day with the sunset.
That was us at Disneyland. It was so much fun. We got the front row on the ride.
I look a little scared, but I wasn't.
Dad's good at turning around when we're on the roller coaster and taking action shots of us. You can drive your own little cars at Disneyland, and it's really fun because when you're only 11 years old, you don't get to do that very often.
Don't worry, it's a gated area. Phew.
And they don't go very fast.
I wasn't very good at it because it was kind of hard to reach the pedals.
That was me. I got a new hat for my birthday. My parents thought it was kind of stupid, but it was all I wanted. That was at our birthday party. We had a mini donut eating contest. The first one to get the whole donut in their mouth wins.
That's us. It all squished in our room for the sleepover. It was kind of squished, but it was fun.
In the morning, we all put bunny ears on our head and got some photos taken.
Because it was Easter.
Yeah.
This is our night at the movies in the park, in the park behind us. We set up a big screen and projector to watch a movie in our park. And this is at the IndyCar race at Long Beach. I went with a guy from work and watched the IndyCar race, which was pretty cool. I also went that same month on a motorcycle ride with Brian Milner to Arizona. We rode from here down to Yuma, then up to Arizona, did some work, and then went on a ride up out about 100 miles out of town to this little bar with John Vitale. It has some cool seats you see there made out of horse saddles. From there we went up to Sedona, and I don't think we stopped there for much. It was mainly just passing through on the way up to the Grand Canyon. There's some of the famous Red Rock views from around Sedona. From there we went north to Flagstaff and then continued north up to the Grand Canyon. We rode along the south rim of the Grand Canyon for a couple of hours, stopped a few times, took some photos, got some nice photos there, like the sun was starting to set, so it was pretty. Then we rode down to Williams and then home the next day.
That was us at Jake's first communion. It was so much fun. April and I looked so pretty, and Jake was having a good time.
There's Jake with his classmates ready to go.
time, doesn't he?
Yeah. We were at the beach, and Jake and April were jumping off the swings as high as they could go.
That was Redondo Beach for Mother's Day, I think, in May.
Yeah.
There's
We
me
got
reaching
meat
for the-
pies.
Oh yeah, that's the day we had the meat pies, huh? And look at this, in the background behind the beach is this big power station. Took a photo of it because I think it's funny how you get the nice beach and then a power station right beside it.
That was me at my clarinet concert. I was in honor band and we did lots of concerts. It was so much fun.
There's all of us at the
Did you get 2 medals that night?
Yeah, the teacher, I'm my favorite in my class, so the teacher gave me 2 medals.
This is Deborah and Catherine. They went to a day spa for a day, and that's kind of got a view of the pool. Everyone lounging around. They had a really good time.
No kids allowed.
Yeah, that's right.
There's Jake when he did a biography on Walt Disney.
In 3rd grade.
Don't worry, that's a fake mustache. That's his poster that he made.
We all helped him out a little bit to decorate it and make it good. That was at the
Paris, Las Vegas, where Mum and Dad took a trip.
There's Eiffel Tower in Las Vegas. Never thought I'd see that.
And there's the hotel that they stayed at.
No, that's the one behind us. That's the Bellagio
Oh.
behind us, and we're sitting in the front of the Paris Hotel having breakfast, I think, or lunch. I forget. And that was Fleetwood Mac. We saw Fleetwood Mac in concert that night, and that's them there, Stevie Nicks up front. That's just a nice sunset over the Pacific Ocean from home.
That's me when I did piano at the piano recital.
And that's me. See, April and I had matching shirts, except mine was purple.
Mine's green. There's all of us, every single kid who did a song.
Just like the one in December. That was us on the plane in business class. It was so much fun because
When we went to Australia, we got upgraded to business class.
That was at Nana's house. We had so much fun.
It was in our visit to Australia.
That was with Uncle Michael. That was with Dida on the ferry in Sydney Harbour by the bridge.
And there's Jake, loving it.
Our trip to Australia was so much fun. We did so much.
And there's Pop and Felicia.
At the house that we were staying at, Nana's house. That was with our friend Rachel. They'd come down from Melbourne just to see us. It was so nice of them.
That was Mum and Rachel's mum.
Haley. That was us with Nana and JK. At
Little
their house.
squinty there, Jake.
That was with Maria, Dida, and Auntie Vera. We had fun that day.
That's us at the same house, except we're at the back near the beach with Dida. That's me and Jake sliding down a pole.
April, you're about to hit Drake in the face.
Move out of the way, Jake.
That was with our friends Melanie and Emily.
With their mum in the background.
They're partly Croatian.
Teresa, Alex and her man Steve and Kate over for dinner at Mum's in Manly. Tom and Leanne, Amy and Caitlin at Glenfield.
Looks like it was a nice day.
It was a beautiful day.
And this is Scott, Apes, Jen, and me. We're all playing a board game right then. And that's a nice photo too. We're all together and pretty happy. Nice photo.
And that's us at Shelley Beach with Cariana.
Narrabeen Lakes, there's Stephen, Annie Lynn, Michael, Annie Mary, Dean and Teresa.
That's me, that's the fish I caught.
Did you throw it back or keep it?
We kept it.
I made
no,
you
wait,
throw it
we
back.
threw it back.
I caught one too. I made them throw it back. Dad didn't want to keep it there. We were riding in the back of Dida's truck, but we could only stay in the parking lot. Aww.
That's the baby elephant we saw. It was with its mom at Taronga Zoo. It was 2 weeks old, born on the 4th of July.
This is some photos from my big bike ride I did. That's Lake Tahoe, and live action shot of me riding. So I was gone for about 13 days. Did about 4,500 miles. That's coming into Idaho. It was on the second day. The third day we rode along a really nice river and a winding road. There's a sign 99 miles, which was great fun. And here's a photo of the road. It was like that for 100 miles, literally. We had good weather on those days, although for the most part we had a little bit of rain nearly every day. We're heading a fair way north. This is about to come into Montana, and there was still some snow on the ground in some of the higher elevations, and not uncommon to get a bit of rain and snow during summer even in some of the places we're at. This is coming into Glacier National Park, which was beautiful, supposed to be the highlight of the trip, but it rained really heavily on us, so we couldn't get many photos, couldn't get any video through there. It was the only day that I got really wet. My boots got wet. The clothes I'm wearing there is a riding suit for in the rain. That was really good. Kept my clothes dry, but I got water in my boots. And that's one of the lakes up there north in Montana. We ended up getting lost a little bit and ended up on this dirt road with that sign there, not maintained for public use. So just a little bit after that we had to turn around and go back and find another way. There's the dirt road, you can see. Our bikes are not really built for that. It's just me having a little nap by the side of one of the lakes.
That was comfortable.
One of the days. It was nice just having a lay down there by the stream. Yeah, hear the babbling brook in the background. That's a little waterfall up in Cascade Mountains in Washington State. So we'd ridden up into Canada, in Alberta, British Columbia, back down into Idaho, across into Washington State. This is one of our campsites in Washington State. We camped 6 of the 12 nights. That's my friend Brian from work who did the ride with me, and he's holding a big pile of snow there from around Mount Rainier. It was actually snowing a little bit that day on us as we're riding. This is Mount St. Helens, which was the first fully sunny day of the whole trip. I think it was like about day 9 or something like that. Then the day after we ended up down at Crater Lake, which is in Oregon, a leftover crater from a volcano. Obviously San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. And then we did an overnight trip from there. We stayed
look at it, it's so cute.
near a beach and saw these elephant seals.
And that's a 360 I got for my 9th birthday. And it's really cool.
It spins
and
around fast,
spins
huh?
fast, yeah. And that's a Legoland for my birthday too. And it's April, Jen, me, and my friend Zach. And that's a ride at Legoland. And she's sure to shoot water at each other. And it's pretty fun. And that's another ride. You just ride in little cars. It's pretty fun.
You had fun in that, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a mini world. It's really awesome. It shows like everything.
That's the Capitol building.
Yeah, Capitol building.
So I went up to Portland for a work trip, and I took an extra day and went out to see the Evergreen Air and Space Museum about 30 miles out of Portland, and that's the Spruce Goose, which they have there on display, one and only. It's a massive airplane. You can see other airplanes parked underneath its wings there. I think it's a DC-10 on the right, the silver thing. It's just huge. The tail's massive. It's unbelievably large. The whole thing's made out of timber. And out the front and just in around the museum they've got a lot of other airplanes. That's an F-14 Tomcat, my favourite jet fighter. They've got a display of replica stuff from the space program. That's a real SR-71 Blackbird they've got in there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the engines are open up so you can see them as well. This is just when I did one of my trips to Vegas. I wanted to show the what it's like inside the airport. There's an oxygen bar where you can go and sit at the airport after you've done your gambling and pay, there it is, $15 for a 15-minute oxygen session if you want to just breathe some nice air in Vegas. A week or so later I went up to Seattle to go on a golf tournament for one of our clients, the Seattle Seahawks, the football team, and this is the us and the golf day. It was a good charity event. And then I think the day after that I went on another tour of another Air and Space Museum, this one in Seattle, the Museum of Flight I think it's called, which houses a Concorde. So you can, it's my first time seeing a Concorde, and you can look at it on the outside and also you can go inside. There's the engines at the back, so that was pretty good fun seeing that. They also got an older, I think 1973 Air Force One. That's a real Air Force One, and they show all the different people that have flying in it, and that's inside the museum. A lot of other aircraft on display hanging from the roof.
And this is my first time riding the bus to Crescent. Not the first day of school though, but it's bus 20, and I'm pretty excited. That's me and Sarah both getting on the bus, and that's Mr. Smith in the background, the bus driver.
This is me taking a 3 or 4 day bike ride, what was supposed to be 2 or 3 days, up to the Sequoia National Park, which is in Northern California. Lots of tall redwoods, and then from there up into Yosemite. And there's a nice photo of the valley through the middle of Yosemite National Park. All granite cliff faces everywhere, and just beautiful roads to ride along. Unfortunately, I had a problem with the clutch on my bike. I ended up stranded in Reno for 3 days, and then had to get a U-Haul truck and trailer. You see me there, and had to drive the whole thing home. Yeah, which was
we were riding our scooters onto
a long
it.
trip. As Jessica, Deborah's mum's friend from Australia, came over and stayed with us for a couple of days, and
that was the day that we got Ruffles from the pet store.
Our puppy.
Yeah, she's so cute. She was so excited. She likes to chew socks.
There's her getting into mischief in our lounge room. She's got my socks in her mouth. She's trying to protect them with her paws.
this is another golf day that I went on. Just put this in here so I don't forget about it myself. Down at Pechanga Resort, it was a Angels golf event. It was a pretty spectacular course. You can see the elevation change there. There are a number of holes with really big elevation changes like that.
There's me and Jake and our neighbor Kay at a baseball game.
I was at a party, so I wasn't.
And there's Rick and Jake as well, same game. And then this is a photo of a rattlesnake that I caught and killed in the backyard. It was actually almost 4 feet long, and I've kept the rattle to bring home.
That was me at my first swim meet during breaststroke, and I got 5th place, but I was still pretty happy with myself. And that was me just before I got in to do my first race in my new cozies for my team, fast.
That was Mum and Dad when they went to Phoenix to see a U2 concert with their friends.
That was one of the friends that they took with them. Her name was Nanette.
She's one of our friends' mums. And that's Mum, Dad, Nanette, and Larry, all at the concert together.
Nanette and Larry are my friends' parents.
That's at the concert. Looks pretty amazing.
Uh-huh.
And that looks even better.
That was with Ruffles, and we were out on the grass outside our house, and we were giving her a little run around. We trust her not to run down the cliff.
And that's Ruffles, Jen, Jake, and I, all laying down on the grass. She's such a loving dog.
That was on Halloween. I was the cheerleader. Jake was the
Sith guy.
Grim Reaper.
And I was a poisonous princess.
Ruffles was a pirate.
Ruffles was a pirate.
Okay, and this is me having fun with a chipmunk. I don't know what his name is.
We're at Disneyland for Dad's birthday. This is Jen, Jake, and I hanging out with Pluto at Disneyland.
What?
That is the best roller coaster ever. We went on it 4 times.
That was with
Snow White and
Snow
Dopey.
White. I have an autograph book.
They were just about to leave, and we were the last persons to catch her.
That was Pocahontas. She talked a lot. She could barely even stop talking to the photo.
She said, "Oh, Australia is many villages away."
That was with the bears. They were fun. Too bad they couldn't sign autographs.
That's up in the Ferris wheel, right?
Oh yeah, that was the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
I was going to be sick. It was
Rocks and forth, back and forth. Yeah. And there's Mum and Jake. Here's another bike ride that I went on. This was a 3-day trip up to Utah, through Arizona all the way into Utah to go and see the Zion National Park, and also Bryce Canyon. So there's about I think 8 or 10 of us in the group that's coming into Zion National Park. It's really spectacular, kind of red rock cliff faces, and you can see that photo there's got pretty good colour in it. We didn't spend much time in the park there. We just had to kind of ride through because we're trying to do Zion and Bryce in the same day, and they're about 100 miles apart. So Bryce is more of a big canyon, as you can see behind me there. Again, with lots of interesting rock formations.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like a painting.
It's lots of colours. I mean, the colours are just remarkable. They don't really show up great in these photos.
Painting.
Yeah, it was really spectacular. I'd like to go back. You guys would like it. And the roads in there are not too windy, so.
I get sick on winding roads.
Yeah, I know. I don't think you get sick going here. You'd be okay. We might go there with the Fitzgeralds if they come over next year.
That was Jake at the Lakers game with Dad and his friend.
Yeah, it was a
Matt
school
and
trip,
Tyler.
right? So he had.
It wasn't a school trip. It was something that the teacher.
Well, the teacher organised it.
Yeah,
It was a
but
bunch of his
it
school
wasn't
friends.
educational.
You can see we're sitting up pretty high, and it was a Clippers game with the LA Clippers, one of the 2 basketball teams in LA.
That was Ruffles close up. She's so cute.
She's the loving.
That was me when I dressed up as Judy Garland for a school biography report, and we made ruby slippers for extra credit.